James Games here. Good to see y'all again. And I'm very excited because, well, it says fortune cookies, but I happen to know that it is my Neo Geo. So, let's check this out. What I got here. This looks like, that feels like an AC adapter, so let me set that aside. Another miscellaneous adapter. Here comes the good stuff. Sorry about this. Oh my goodness. Here we go. There's the controller. Wow. Never seen one of these before in person, so there was some cracking on the ball, but from what I understand that's really common, and I guess you can replace these with standard joystick parts, although I was looking and it seems like the diameter of the ball on these is just a little smaller than the, 30 millimeter, I think is kind of standard, so anyway, I don't mind the cracking. If it's so common, it's not a huge deal for me. Otherwise, logo looks good, and otherwise looks really good. So, got that. Let me set that aside. And controller number 2. One thing I gotta say, and I kind of hate this, is it smells like smoke, but whatever. I'm sure it'll dissipate eventually, and I'm not a smoker, but oh well. What do we have here? Here my cat's fighting. Here's second joystick. This one has a little scuff. You probably can't see that well, but I'll probably buff that out or use a magic eraser. Feels good. Again, we got some cracking you can see on the ball there, but I mean, it still feels smooth. That's really strange how it does that. That feels so nice and professional. It really feels like a solid controller, Very nice. Set that aside and we'll have a look at the actual console here, if I can dig it out. Here she is. I'll just get this bubble wrap under control. Alright, had to fight with that. Pretty hard to get it out of there, but here's the console, and you can see there's a scuff. The light makes it look really bad here, but it's perfectly smooth, and the guy told me about this before I bid. It was a lot cheaper than he had a US one also for sale. This one's Japanese, but I got this one for a lot cheaper, actually like $100 cheaper than the US one that he sold. And I am almost thinking that this might be able to come off with some work and maybe magic eraser or something. So I'm not super concerned. Like I mentioned in my first video, if I want, pristine system, I'm going to be modding this anyway. If I want a super pristine system, I'll do that later and get it complete in box and, not mod it. But you can see here we got, let's see if I can get the light a little better here. We got controller ports, headphone jack, memory card slot. I really got to get better lighting for these videos. There we go. There's a volume for the headphone jack. Here's your memory card slot. Still need to get a memory card. The cartridge slot is absolutely gigantic. You got your reset and your power off and on. You can see there's another little scuff right there. Again, I'm not super worried about it. I'll try to clean it up, but it's alright. Back here we got our 8-pin AV out. That's a DIN output and our DC input. So again, I'm going to mod this. I'm actually now considering doing it myself, and now I've gone back and forth in my head so many times between a stealth mod where you actually use the 8-pin DIN to get your composite and S-video signal, just kind of piggybacking on this DIN connector and making a custom output cable, and obviously doing the Unibios mod also. I've toyed between doing that and then actually drilling the holes to doing the advanced video output back here, doing the whole component, there's my cat, component and S-video and composite and stereo. So we'll see, as I'm still kind of thinking about that. But yeah, there's my console. I'll see what I can do about that scuff and show you guys how, if I'm able to get it out. But for now, that's really all I have to show you, and hopefully I'll have some gameplay videos with those games I showed you real soon. So thanks for watching. Hey, James Games back here again. It's just a couple minutes later, and I wanted to show you guys how great I was able to clean this thing up. You know, looking at an angle, I can still just barely see that scuff, but if you rewind and look at how this was when I first unpacked it, versus here, look at it from the top, you just can't even see that scuff anymore. And I just wanted to show you that what I used was this, which is a magic eraser, and obviously this one's been used a lot already, but if you've never seen one before, it is the coolest thing for all kinds of household cleaning. You just basically, it's like a little white sponge, and you wet it, and then you just kind of buff in a circular motion, just a little bit of pressure, and I would use it sparingly. Especially don't get near logos and things, because I'm pretty sure it could take that off, or at least really dull it. But this sponge actually comes apart. You know, this stuff like dissolves. I'm not sure exactly what it's made out of, but it will dissolve as you're rubbing, and the scuffs and stuff will just rub away with it. So you just go over it with a damp cloth afterwards and dry it, and it looks awesome. So I'm really psyched because this guy had two of these consoles for sale. One was US, one was Japanese. This is the Japanese one, and aside from, you know, the fact that I'm sure some people wanted the US one more, just for the fact that it was US, that scuff looked awful on the auction picture. And so the US one went for about $300. This one went for just over $200. And I'm really psyched because, you know, I asked the guy, can you feel it? Does it feel like an indentation or a scratch? And he said, no, you can run your finger over it and it's perfectly smooth. So I was pretty confident I could get it out, and really glad that I did. So here's the AC adapter. I was going to ask you guys, I'm pretty sure this is 100 volt because it is the Japanese adapter. From what I understand, you can still plug these in the US and be okay. Does anyone know different? I'm not going to burn my house down, right? Because that wouldn't be good. And then I've got this came with actually an RF adapter for the video, which from what I understand too, if this is the Japanese one, then I think it'll be like channel 96 on my TV as opposed to 3. But you can see here's that DIN connector there, and so yeah, 8-pin DIN. That's normally the cable I think you see with these is composite video, you know, the yellow RCA plug, and then the monaural white audio. Of course, the stereo audio only comes out of the front headphone jack unless you mod it. So, and actually when you do mod it internally, you're tapping off of that headphone jack to get the stereo sound. So anyway, I'm thinking about modding this myself. We'll see. I'm going to do some more research, and I'll let you guys know. And if I do mod it myself, I'll be sure to video it. So hopefully get some gameplay videos soon, and thank you guys for watching.